All right, good afternoon. I'm here with my mentor, Mr. Urban. Today, he's giving me my mentor feedback of video standard 5, application of content. And the guiding question is, how does teachers understand subject area concepts and different perspectives to engage students in critical thinking, creativity, and collaborative planning related to local and global issues? Now, today we're going to be discussing. I had my 7th grade AVID team debate versus the 8th grade AVID team, and the topic was, are celebrities good role models or not? The reason I chose to do this activity was because dealing with the population of students that we service here at Charles Hart Middle Schools, we're always trying to relate whatever content area we teach to real life issues. A lot of kids always speak about things they see on the daily that they feel is wrong, although we as teachers feel that it's incorrect. So the debate, in my opinion, was pretty good. Although the first debate, it was kind of like a practice, but we're setting up for another debate versus the 8th grade team. And Mr. Irvin himself watched the video. He's gonna give me feedback and what he thinks. So my first question to you, Mr. Irvin, is: do you think me choosing are celebrities good role models or not for the kids to debate on? Do you think that was a great topic?
I do. I think that topic is excellent, and as I look at the rubric when it comes to project-based learning, where it says candidate develops and implements student projects to help students develop interdisciplinary skills in understanding a problem or issue, I think you hit that with that debate and that topic head on. Students definitely were engaged in the concept and the debate about if celebrities are role models or not. And I think that by you using this topic and having students debate about it, it definitely was able to score at least a level 3, if not a level 4 on this rubric. So I think it was awesome. I also have my feelings about, celebrities being role models or not, but I'll hold that for later.
Okay, great to hear that. Now, for my personal opinion, just me rating myself, I kind of gave it a 2, which was the basic and developing, where it says can develop student projects, but they do not adequately guide students in analyzing a problem or issue. For this first debate, we kind of want the student just to be open. Now, yes, we gave them 2 days to do their research. We kind of went over how they are supposed to respond by restating what their opponent said, whether they was for or against, and then giving evidence. My 7th grade team felt some type of way because during the debate, as you can see in the video, the 8th grade students started using their tablets. Now, I was okay with that because I also felt like that allowed them to include tablets or any other resources to help them win the debate. But from your perspective, when we talk about students engaging in critical thinking or the creativity, would you say that's creativity or critical thinking because the student in the middle of the debate used the tablet to gather research, or would that be biased or unfair to the 7th grade team?
It would only be biased and unfair to the 7th grade team if you didn't say initially that both teams are able or allowed to use the tablets as the person that's representing their team develops their argument. If the people that are developing that argument are speaking, and you told everyone that those are in the crowd, you could use the internet to help develop and find more points for the people that are representing the team. If you said that each team can do that, then it would be fine. But if you didn't say that initially and you allowed one team to use the tablets and the other team not to, then yeah, it would be a little biased. So did you say that each team, although the players, did you say that the crowd could use the internet prior to the discussion, and that would be okay, or you didn't?
No, we never clarified them using it during the debate.
And so if you allowed the 8th grade team to use the tablets and then help the presenter, come up with more valid points, then that would be biased to the 7th grade team who didn't or wasn't allowed to use the internet.
Understood. Now, the other piece I wanted to touch on, as you can see at the end of the video between Shania and Aaliyah, the debate kind of got a little heated and personal with one student, Shania, from representing the 8th grade, kind of talked about as seventh grade students or just individual students in general, you should never look up to a celebrity or someone you consider a role model as a parent figure, and that the decisions you all make shouldn't be based off what you hear in songs or see in videos, but how you are raised in your household. How can you think I, as a teacher, can strongly teach the kids right or wrong when it comes to things like that? Because as we all know, today's generation use a lot of technology. I mean, they do live and do see and speak on things they see on TV every day. And so I do feel that was a great point made by Shania. But what's your advice for me as far as just helping kids understand the difference between the two?
Well, I think in terms of a debate, you always got to set your guidelines and your parameters first. You know, behavior and how to react when someone makes a good point versus someone make a bad point. You know, the cheering and all of that may be minimized, and the booing and all that could be minimized. But that's one thing I would say, just on proper debate etiquette. On the second standpoint, I think, you know, you don't know each individual student's family situation and what they're going through. So at the same time, a kid may have a really messed up situation, have access to the internet, idolize a athlete or actress or actor, and do some background research on them, and then say, you know what, I wish that person was my dad, or I wish that person was my mother. And although that's not how you and I have made grown up, but that may be how they're growing up, because they don't have that good father figure or role model from a mother. And so if that person then chooses to do that, and that's helping them be a better student and helping them be, you know, determined and persevere through struggles, then I wouldn't speak against that. Now, if you have a student who doesn't have that same family structure and is using another individual, you know, that's on the internet or whatever, and that person has influenced their behavior and it's a negative thing, then I would say there needs to be a discussion. We don't know every kid's situation, and so some kids use many different individuals, whether it be stars or whether it be people in their family, as role models or people that they look up to. And as long as it doesn't influence their behavior in a negative way, I think they should be able or allowed to use that person as a role model. If they're looking up to an individual that is talking promiscuity and thug life or whatever the case may be, and the kid is now acting on that in school, then that would be an issue and that needs to be a discussion. But if that person is looking up to individuals talking about love and family and respect and being a good person and reflecting good behavior, and that kid is then demonstrating that, then I don't think there needs to be a discussion at all. What are you going to do with kids that don't have no parents at all, and they don't have no one else to look up to, and maybe they don't want to look at look at a teacher or an administrator as a role model, right? And they look at LeBron James, and they say, well, LeBron James, he came from X, Y, and Z, and he's doing this, and he's helping out his community, and so I want to be like LeBron, and so that's the reason why I come to school. Well, that's a great thing. But if they're looking at somebody else who's doing the opposite of that or teaching the opposite of that, and then they're starting to act on that, then that would be a discussion.
Understood. So overall, would you say that this was actually a great debate for the kids to touch on, or should I have took a different route with being the first debate?
I think that for it being the first debate and having that topic of the discussion on role models and celebrities being role models and not, I think that was great, because I remember Charles Barkley talked about that years ago, saying that he isn't a role model. So, you know, and they're too young to know about that discussion or that time. But I think this was good, and you can only build on from that. You know, establishing guidelines prior to the debate, and then that would help develop debate etiquette, and then from there it will only get better. But I think that was an excellent choice of topic.
All right, thank you, sir. And that'll be all for today.
Absolutely.